Don't go away mad, just go away. That's what Motley Crue is telling founding guitar player Mick Mars today, or it kind of sounds like he might be telling it to them as he has decided to sue the band. And guys, there's a lot to unpack here in this story, so we're just going to take it piece by piece, take our time, and figure out what exactly is going on in the world of Motley Crue and Mick Mars. So TMZ has reported today that he's suing the band for kicking him out, also alleging that they didn't want to offer him any money at a certain point in time. So again, instead of alleging things, we're just going to read what's said. So it says that last fall, he announced that he wasn't going to be touring with Motley Crue. Mick Mars did on the road because he's suffering from a debilitating arthritic disease called ankylosing spondylitis. So that was, again, that's why he claimed he wasn't on the road. However, this lawsuit contradicts that and says he made it clear that he could still record with the band or do limited performances. He just couldn't handle a full tour with his condition. So it somewhat had to do with his disease, but now it looks like it's mostly about these touring profits. So according to docs obtained by TMZ, Mick said the band cut his percentage of profits from 25% to 5% after he announced he was stepping back from full-on touring. Now, that's pretty dirty, I can't even lie. Furthermore, Mars claims that the band's lawyer made him feel like he should be grateful to even receive a small cut because Motley Crue's lawyers claim he didn't deserve anything. So, okay, so this makes sense. So he announced that he wasn't going to be on the tour due to this, but he could have done some dates. And due to the fact that they aren't going to work with him now, he's not doing anything. Okay, I understand this now. I definitely think that this is a bad move for Motley Crue. Guys, we got to think about a couple of different factors. The main thing we got to consider is the fact that these guys are not charging 2 cents for tickets here. Look, even if this was back when tickets were $250, $300 maximum for great seats at a stadium, even then they were raking in millions to the point where they could easily take care of one of their own. But when you look at the situation now, it's completely amplified to the point where they're making money hand over fist. Motley Crue, guys, we did a video on this on the ticket prices. I'm pretty sure it was $1,300 in some places to sit in the nosebleeds of a stadium. Of 80,000 seat stadium, or 60,000 seater, something like that. So my point in bringing up the prices is that they can easily afford to take care of Mick Mars. And I see no reason why they would say he's lucky to get anything when let's be honest, Mick Mars is the best part of that band. If I would say musically, I would say in terms of even personality, Mick Mars is by far the best member of that band. Maybe Tommy Lee a close second. I find Nikki and Vince to be almost insufferable at this point with the way that they've been behaving and treating each other. It's ridiculous. TMZ continues, some of this is definitely personal for Mick Mars. This is from a suit filed by his attorney, Ed McPherson. So in the suit, Mick repeatedly accused Nikki Sixx, of course the Motley Crue bassist, of gaslighting him about his guitar skills, saying that they were diminishing. So I guess Nikki trying to convince Mick that he couldn't play. I mean, again, what is the point of that, Nikki Sixx? What is the point of trying to tell your bandmate he can't play when he's had a debilitating disease for his entire life? And not only that, he's been on stage kicking ass, making you money every night, playing those guitar solos. Why do you want to put it in his head before he's going on stage, if this is in fact true, that he can't play? Now, I'm sure a lot more is going to come out about this, guys, but I'm very curious to know what you guys think. Let me know down below in the comments. Is Motley Crue wrong for what they're doing to Mick Mars? Would you say that it's a situation where there's going to be more sides of the story that come out and potentially we haven't heard everything? Again, Nikki Sixx, Vince, I'm sure all these guys are going to, I think at this point, definitely have their day in court. And I would definitely say that this isn't going to end nicely really in any situation, and it's sad to see. The other accusation that Mick Mars was throwing around is that Motley Crue was using massive amount of backing tracks, saying that the bass tracks on the stadium tour were all pre-recorded, everything that Nikki Sixx was playing. So this, again, was reported from Blabbermouth in this lawsuit. And this is, again, this is probably not very good for Motley Crue. So the quote here says, astonishingly, Sixx made claims about Mars's playing deteriorating, as we just mentioned, while he did not play a single note on bass during the entire U.S. tour. This is directly from the lawsuit, guys, from Mick Mars. The quote continues, ironically, 100% of Sixx's bass parts were nothing but recordings. Sixx was seen fist bumping in the air with his strumming hand while the bass part was playing. In fact, a significant portion of Vince Neil's vocals, oh, wow, here we go, we're coming for Vince now. The quote continues, was also pre-recorded. Even some of Tommy Lee's drum parts were recordings. This is direct quote. Some fans actually noticed Lee was walking towards his drum set as they heard his drum parts begin. That's just sloppy. I don't think it would take a lawsuit for people to figure this out. It sounds like people did figure this out. Wow, okay. He continues, Mars at times on the tour did play the wrong chords, but not due to any cognitive dysfunction. He was playing live and his in-ear monitors were constantly malfunctioning because Mars was unable to hear his own instrument, causing him to be unable to hear his own instrument. The fact is that Mars is merely mocked or criticized online. He is a quiet member of the group who shows up to play and puts his heart and soul into each performance. And he just continues. So, look, this is pretty shocking statement and testimony coming from the lawsuit. Again, guys, this was documents that was obtained officially from TMZ, from Mick Mars's lawyer. This has been filed. And so I guess this was probably public record and they were able to pull these documents. This is pretty wild when it comes to a revelation, but is it though? You know, here's the thing. I feel like it's wild in the sense that it's crazy he's saying it about this band, especially when he was just in the band. What's not wild about it is the fact that they're using backing tracks. Let's be honest, guys. I think it's fair to say that 85% of live concerts now, maybe even 90%, use backing tracks. Am I happy about it? No. If I had it my way, would I make it so that everybody performed live? Yes. However, guys, that's not the case. That's not the way that live audio works anymore. We're in a different era with different requirements and different venues and different things. And the sad reality is that if we didn't have tracks at most of these shows, you would want a refund because it would sound god-awful. Think about all the complaints that we have about Motley Crue live already. All the people saying Vince Neil can't sing. Everybody saying they sound like garbage. Same with Kiss. Everybody saying they can't sing. They sound bad. Guess what, guys? They sound bad with tracks. So imagine how bad it would sound if they didn't have backing tracks. That's not a world I want to live in. If I'm going to go see a concert, I want it to sound good. And if you can't pull it off, I guess what are we going to do? You're never going to tour again? No, you got to make it sound good. So I'm okay with it at this point because I don't really have a choice. Every concert you go to is going to have tracks. So you got to get the fuck over it or just don't go to the show. That's how I feel about it, man. So let me know, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Motley Crue versus Mick Mars.